guys, and welcome back to the channel. So last night, quite late, I finished the Carina Mutant challenge as well, and this video is effectively going to be a run through my fights, my experience, the team that I used. I'm not going to call this a full-on guide because I still don't have enough information, because there could be other better options and or teams. And with Mutants specifically, I have heard that people are using quite a few different champions. You know, you can go with Strife, you can go with Onslaught, you can go with obviously Sinisters, and you can use North Star, maybe, probably. You can also use a few other options and champions. But I effectively did all of my fights in the Mutant run with Mr. Sinister and with Onslaught. The rest of the champions there are just basically for the synergies. So I did make one of them a Horseman, which I actually kind of wish I made Mr. Sinister as a Horseman instead of the Onslaught. But, you know, either or, I suppose. Or maybe it would have been better to bring in two Apocalypses and make two Horsemen of Apocalypse. That's also something worth considering, because Cyclops synergy is nice because it kind of like prevents you from being knocked out once in a fight. So if you like eat level 3, you can survive it, which is definitely helpful. But at the same time, most of the time when you get knocked out because you get hit by a combo or a multi-hit special attack, and you know, you still die shortly afterwards. Anyways. That said, the run wasn't too bad. The run was approximately about the same revives as the Gods run. So let's break that down. So for the Mutant run, you need to do Sauron, which, you know, admittedly I should have done better with using Onslaught. Then it's Hitmonkey, then it's America Chavez, then it's Airwalker, and it's Captain Britain, Wiccan, and Psychoman. Also, they do have 50% chance to wear your medium attacks. Oh, sorry about that. Still early. Still waking up. So, against Sauron, I used Onslaught. And Onslaught does this fight fine. I found level 3 rotation to be the best. I probably should have squeezed in that level 2 degen as well. But with level 3s, you get to refresh all your Neuroshocks and passively stun him. And it gives you time to spam in a couple of heavy attacks, and your level 3 costs less power, so you can get quite a nice rhythm going. It's just that I wasn't too experienced and practiced with that fight. And then we do have Hitmonkey, which is an easy Onslaught solo. I did test out Sinister for it. He did okay, but Onslaught's definitely better for soloing this. America Chavez is one of the more annoying fights. The fighting tip there for me using Mr. Sinister was effectively try to throw level 1s in the block so you don't knock her down too often, otherwise she's going to be stealing your power and all that stuff. There's like 5 revives for Sauron and Chavez, which are 2 of the harder fights for sure. And then we have Airwalker. Mr. Sinister handled Airwalker tremendously well. Part of the course there was that Sinister was already quite decently ramped up there because he gains quite a bit of charges. And then Captain Britain, Mr. Sinister fight for sure. I believe it was like 1 revive or 2 revives for Captain Britain. Wiccan, Onslaught absolutely destroys the Wiccan fight. You can solo for sure. And Psychoman was like 3 revives with Onslaught. So, that is quite good. Any specific tips for the rotations? Here I used again level 3. In general, you do try to use your level 2 and then spam your level 3s and try and keep your degens and Neuroshocks from falling off. Obviously with Onslaught, with Mr. Sinister, it's his regular playstyle with parry heavy level 1s and then pausing the degens, getting up to more level 1s. A few notes as we're going to go over the breakdown of the fight. So Sauron was Onslaught about 5 revives. Hitmonkey, I believe it was 1 revive. Could have been done without, probably. Chavez was Sinister, about 5 or so revives. Airwalker was Sinister, I believe, about 2. Captain Britain, again, was Sinister, about 2. Might be, you know, forgetting a few because I did it last night and it was quite late. So there might be a few used revives missing. as well as the couple that I used initially when I started my runs to make, APOC the Horseman. And, Psycho Man with Onslaught was 3 revives. Just noticed that it was remaining from the previous one. So that was about 3 revives. So altogether, it was about 20 revives. Again, it's not like a tricky or hard or expensive run. Again, I do not know if this is the best team, because we're going to go in game and check that out as well, because there are quite few mutants that can be used for, Acropolis. I was considering taking in my Storm, for instance, and making a Storm the Horseman, but my Storm is currently rank 1, and I didn't kind of want to rank anyone up unless I had to. I would have ranked the Storm up. I probably will at some point anyways, but still. I have heard that people do well with Professor X himself, so that is worth pointing out. And then, obviously there's potentially the Sunspot, I suppose, and North Star. So, one important thing that I did want to talk about still is Mr. Sinister. I do have a rank 2 7-star Mr. Sinister right now, and I do have a rank 6 6-star, and I 100% recommend using the 6-star one. Oh yeah, some people brought in Archangel as well for like Airwalker fight, I believe Chavez and a few others. But I want to talk specifically about Mr. Sinister, and that his Awaken ability is like super important for this, because each time Mr. Sinister defeats an opponent, he extracts their genetic code, gaining a different ability for the rest of the quest, up to 10, and that really added up. And also, Mr. Sinister starts each fight with 3 of these effects at random. These do not persist between fights and do not count towards the max passives, but I do think Mr. Sinister is slightly bit bugged and he might start these fights with more of these passives. But anyways, this is like super important because, Cosmic ones increase your attack by a lot. So if you get Cosmic ones, you get quite lucky, and also after you defeat the Airwalker, you get that. Then you have skill ones increasing your critical rating, which can be quite helpful, Mutant giving you prowess, and perhaps most importantly, Mystic giving combat power rate. So defeating America Chavez or rolling on several of these Mystic ones are, completely changes the dynamic of the fights. If you do have like 80% increased power gain from combat power rate, you are doing a completely different fight against like Chavez and many of these opponents. So it is 100% better, in my opinion, to use, let's say, rank 6 6-star than a rank 3 7-star for these. Especially, if your rank 3 6-star is very, very high sig. And, it does make a huge difference, without a doubt. I got asked this a lot during the stream, but 10 out of 10 times, I believe 6-star is going to be the better one if he's duped and high sig. People do drastically underestimate how important Mr. Sinister's Awakened ability is, which is like one of the things that's holding me back from ranking 3 my 7-star. Because in Battlegrounds, in most cases, I do believe 7-star rank 3 would still be better. But there will be times, even in Battlegrounds, when the 6-star one is tougher to kill or better offensively even than the 7-star rank 3. And let alone in a quest. In a quest, there is no question that the duped Mr. Sinister, when you use him for multiples of fights, is going to be doing better than the unduped one. And it is a massive difference, because these are not irrelevant bonuses. For instance, each Cosmic stack again gives you 1500 attack. That's, about 30% attack rating increase. That's a lot. Mystic combat power rate increase by 20%. You get like 4 of these. You get your level 1s very, 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 very fast. Again, giving you 500 crit rating. That's a lot. And special attack damage increase by 30%. It's kind of like less noticeable because you mainly rely on degens, but still. So that was my run. It's about 20 revives, similar to the Gods one. You can probably do it for less. And let me know if this was helpful and what champions did you use for your mutant runs if you have done them already. And I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all been